Hello, I'm gonna start another quick draft course at 2021. Uh, so I had my scores so far were 3-3, 7-1, 1-3, 7-2. So every other draft was very good. One was mediocre and one was bad. Here we have an interesting choice, and the cards are ordered in a way that the first row is worth considering, and the other there aren't don't contain my potential first pick, but every card here is worth considering at least. And it won't be an easy choice. So this is powerful, but I don't think it's better than the other cards, or at least the best of them. It's still quite annoying against some decks, and if I first pick it, I can build my deck in a way that doesn't get hurt by this ability, and it's really annoying for some decks. A lot of 1 toughness creatures are here, and even 2 toughness creatures can be very bad for my opponent if I get some skeleton archers or so. So this can be very powerful if you build the right deck around it, but can be a little underwhelming on occasions as well. And eliminate is just a great and efficient removal spell. This I think it's I won't consider this one because I would prefer eliminate one of these black cards. It can grow quite well in some decks and is still powerful and common. And this is very powerful, but on the more expensive side. So this format is fast enough that it's not as great as could be in some other formats, but it's a good threat that is keeping the defense very well also, but it doesn't stop flyers, but it's very difficult to remove, or even tapping it with some tapper isn't great. And so I experienced it from the other side in one of my games in the previous draft. I had two copies of the white tapper, a lot of flyers, so they worked as tappers because I had to control flyers for them to tap, but this was very annoying, so I couldn't even tap it because my opponent would draw 2 cards. Removing it is also very costly. And Basri's Acolyte is just one of the best commons, one of the commons white is really looking for. Many white decks really like this creature, and some Celestia counters deck may be overjoyed to play it. So a lot of powerful options. I think I'll go with eliminate here. So a very good removal. This is appealing, but I think I'll take the uncommon over this rare. So I think if the best 7 cards will leave this booster, so this 4 and maybe opt So 5, over 6, and maybe Fatty Dimp. Nothing really very exciting to come back, but if Fatty Dimp won't be taken, maybe Titanic Growth or Legion's Judgment can be more appealing. Then I'll take Fatty Dimp in the same color as Eliminated. It's still playable. So this is a very powerful multicolor card. I can consider it even if it doesn't fit the color of my first pick, and it's still a multicolor card taken early. But it's just very good. You can speculate on some multicolor cards, and I think the only competition here is finishing blow, and I could be deeper in black. I have a very efficient removal and would take an inefficient removal here, really. So there could be sets when such card would be much better, but this is a fast format. This finishing blow isn't that great here. So I think I'll go with this and just see if I can get into Simic. If not, it's not at the end of the world. Sacrificing my one pick for an opportunity to get there. So another interesting set of cards. One common is gone, rare is gone, but all three uncommons are very appealing. So this can be a good support to this code, but green doesn't support blue with flyers, so everything would depend on blue flyers and maybe Sky Scanner. This is great, especially in Celestia, but still can fit this card because this also gets counters every turn, so this can get counters repeatedly as well, so that's fantastic. That can work. No commons can compete with these commons. Spellgorger Weird is nice, but Village Rites, I like this card, but here we have a great removal spell, so maybe taking removal in different colors and seeing what's open is a way to go. I think I wouldn't pick this, and this would be my other choice, but I think I'll go with Faith's Feathers, because removal can be difficult to gather, and this is a premium removal spell. Charger is nice. I don't really like this card. So Topper is nice enough in Flyers deck, but this is just good in every white deck, I suppose. And no real competition here. Aggro is quite nice, but I am more in white here, and this is probably just better. Let's take this. So the white cards are underwhelming for a 5th pick. But nothing probably is great here. This could be a nice support to this code, but I'm quite far away from Simic, but might take it after all. This is a creature I like, especially in Golgari decks, but this is good enough in many black decks. Black is kind of underwhelming overall. I have Eliminate, but not sure if it's the right 5th pick here. And I don't really like these green cards that much, so I'm kind of unexcited for this booster. I don't know what to take here. So probably this or this, but both are not unexciting, and these two white cards are playable enough in many white decks, but they aren't a high priority, so they can just come back to me or something, or I don't know, maybe I will take one of these white cards. Let's take a shield right here. This, some opponents play it, and this card is very annoying for me a lot of times, but I tend to cut it anyway because I don't like such creatures, such cards that are in best of one, that are great in some spots and very bad in some other. So you don't have a control of what your opponent is playing, and this is just a dice roll to some degree. So I think Crypt Lurker is better overall. Maybe I should take this. I could try to build an aggressive white deck when I start with some 1-drop, charge it with a 3-1 on the second turn, and it makes sense to take this shield mate, but it's really not a high priority, so maybe I'll take this one and see if black is open, since I have this eliminate here. Maybe that's a better choice. Yeah, so here we have a very good black uncommon, some reason to get into black. Feat of Resistance is also good. And Thalit is very nice. Maybe Village Rites could come back. The other one maybe, or this one, so Thalit would be exciting, but this is just good. And maybe I'll get to Orzhov. I have a gain for life spell already, and maybe I'll take more of such cards. This is really exciting here. So Feat of Resistance would be good, but I'll take that. This is good in Gruul decks or some red decks that have enough support, but I don't look to get into it. The red didn't seem open for now, so Alpine Watchdog or Village Rites here, I suppose. So I have better 2-drops, and I think Village Rites may be important in some black decks, so I'm happy for that choice, and Watchdog is good anyway, so good enough at least, so I'm taking that. I think Orzhov is the way to go for now, at least. Let's see. So Imp didn't come back, so I think mostly as I expected here. So I'm gonna take Allegiance Judgment. It is a backup removal if I don't quite get there, although in Orzhov I should be able to do better, and I really don't like this card, but maybe Mind Root could be better choice, but I think I would prefer to not play Mind Root as well, so a backup removal sounds better to me. So some people play Dab, and I don't blame them, but it's a risky card, asking for a 2-for-1 for your opponent's advantage. I played Dab a few times, but mostly in boards. It's not as exciting in Orzhov, although there might be some reasons to run it. This Orzhov Signpost uncommon that gains 3 life by itself thanks to tap and trigger its ability, trigger and Ghoul comes back from the graveyard, so some reasons might be there if you gain 3 life thanks to it and have goal in your graveyard, you get your card back anyway, so even the 2 for 1 isn't bad then. So I got some support for that here, but I would need life linker for it to really make it happen. But I'll go with a 2-drop for now, which is playable enough. Short sword is playable in some decks. This, I think, may be an option in some that cares about creatures dying, but I'm not in this deck, I suppose. And warded battlements are good in a lot of white decks as a one-off, so now I'll take this card. So I won't probably have reasons to get into blue, but this is the most playable card here. And I prefer a 1-drop here. So this came back, that's nice. Let's take a green monster, not exciting even in green, and I'm far away from being in green, so okay, here we have some interesting choices. So getting into red for one of these cards, I think I have good reasons to stay in Orzhov, not get into color that seemed close. This is just random, so it doesn't indicate that red is more open, that you get 3 very good red spells here. Vessel can be good enough, but I'm not sure how. I don't think I want to play Rise again, just because I have 1 Vessel in my deck, so it would be just a 1/1 life linker, and there's a better creature in white, because it has a +3/+3 option for 5 mana, so a good mana sink, but Grasp of Darkness is a way to go here. I stay in my colors and still get a very good removal spell. Maybe this will come back, or this, or this. One of these cards might come back. This booster is quite strong overall. A lot of very good red cards, a Sky Scanner, and even if my 3 options here will be gone, maybe then Sky Scanner will come back. Mauler might be good for some decks. Maybe someone will pick Battlements or Tapland, so some bot. I don't really know what are their incentives, but let's assume that they have some plan with their picks. So another 1-drop or a short sword supporting my cheap creatures, or another copy of this 2-drop, or a red card after all, because it makes this makes a difference. This is a very good card. I don't think I'll change my colors now for that, but the other cards are really not high priority, so I might just speculate on this. Maybe red will be open after all. Another charger might be good as well, but Thalit. I have a copy of Village Rites. I think Thalit can be very nice in this deck. And I have quite a lot of 2-drops for now. 3. And some removal for 2 mana, 2 copies. And my creatures for 3 mana, not a lot. now too. I can take a very good 3 mana creature here. This is good, but I don't think I will pick it over a good card in my main colors. So Feat of Resistance is very nice. No real competition here, so here we have this good lifelinker for 1 mana. And some decks play this as a finisher, but I'll be some cheap version of Orzhov, not really looking to play a 7-drop, I suppose. I can pick some more expensive cards, but 7 is really out of my game plan, at least for now, so I'm happy with this cheap lifelinker, and nothing really exciting to make me consider changing colors. There are some playable cards in blue. All of them are playable, I suppose. Maybe this is the worst. This is dependent on your build, but I had 2 copies in my Azorius Flyers, my 7-2 deck from the last draft, so I like this card, at least in some decks. And this is good enough. This is playable in Boros or some other aggressive red builds, but I think Citizen Training is a better card here. But nothing that game changing to make me consider changing colors. I think here another copy of Daybreak Charger is very nice. So this is much better 2-drop than this Watchdog. So Watchdog gains some value when you have this Porous Signpost uncommon that looks for this and the red to drop Ignos Cur or something like this. Could pick another Crypt Lurker to have some more expensive options as well. This deck is cheap and it's good to have a cheap deck, but I think it lacks some more powerful cards. Anyway, it's too cheap for now. But it's still the middle of the draft. I can pick something else. This might even come back. I think it's possible here. Although these 3 cards might be a higher priority for bots, so it's quite unlikely. Okay, and now we have a question. Will I get into this Orzhov synergies? I have only 1 payoff for gaining a lot of life on 1 turn is this goal. But maybe it's enough to play a 2 mana 2/2 with some utility. So I don't have to use this ability until goal is in the graveyard. So it makes sense to pick it. And this isn't good for me. I'm not sure if I have any flyer now. I think not. No, so this stopper won't do anything in my deck unless I pick a lot of flyers from now. So Swindler it is. Now I can take a flyer. Maybe I will get there and this stopper will be also good, and I think both 2-drops are on a similar level. I have 1 copy of this, so I think I can take a creature that exchanges with these cruel monsters for 1 additional mana thanks to Death Touch, so it makes sense. I don't see myself reanimating in this deck, so I prefer a bigger lifelinker than this one. I have a better lifelinker here and some other 1-drop, so a big lifelinker supports go better, and I need some bigger stuff so I can get a 5-drop here. Maybe this short sword now I can get 1 copy. Maybe I will take this black scythe or equipment, and then short sword will be capped. But if I don't get it, I think 1 equipment can be good in a deck full of cheap creatures, and there's no great need for a shield mate here. Another the second copy. I will get enough 1-drops. Maybe I can play 1 or 2 more, but I think I'll get there anyway. So, and they're not a high priority. Okay, nothing good here. So let's just take a crab. I can take a prismate if I be splashing this crab. I need some fixing. If I'm splashing anything, to be more serious. So I don't think it is a splashable card in white-black deck that might have enough removal in its own colors. It's not a very splashable card, 3 damage. So if it destroyed anything and even was more expensive, it would be a better splash. But here I don't have reasons to splash anything. But let's take Prismite speculatively if I don't have anything good anyway. And here I can consider if I want to play even 2 copies of Battlements, or just pick fixing speculatively, even though I don't have anything green I would want to splash. So I think 2 copies of Battlements are too many probably, and maybe I'll take another copy anyway in the 3rd booster or something. So let's speculate on fixing right now. And here I won't speculate on fixing more because Defiant Strike might end up in my deck, but I don't think so as well. So this is probably more splashable card. This is a very good spell, so I could see myself playing this and running red just for this reason, because it's one of the most annoying cards in this set, but I think not over Grasp of Darkness. So it's a better card, but if this is the 3rd booster and I'm very far away from splashing red, I don't have top land with red, so only 1 Prismite for now. I don't think it's a reliable plan, and Grasp of Darkness is too good to resign for some weird plan of splashing without enough fixing for now. So if it would be earlier, I would take this probably, but for now, or if there was no good card for me, very good card, some good, but more like this Steed good, not Grasp of Darkness good. I think I could speculate on this pick, but not for Grasp of Darkness. So some payoff for being in black. This is a very good card. This is also nice. This could be nice in my deck as well, but this is more like a card that I can wait. Maybe it will come back to me. Less reasons to play removal out of my colors, so I won't pick this. And also Devotee is good enough to just not pick something out of my colors. Acolyte, finally I will play this. So I played some white decks already in my 4 quick drafts in January of this set. I haven't got Acolyte yet, so I'm very happy picking it. I picked this over Thalit, over another removal that is playable enough, and especially over the cards out of my colors, even if they're good, as these 3 blue cards and these removals. Ooh, we're getting some serious stuff now. That's good. So this gives a counter. Not my support is not great. This gives a counter. I might prioritize cards with counters later, but I think it's just good enough. Maybe not without totally without support, but if I have some support at least, it can be annoying. And you can pay 6 mana once and then pay 1 mana for adding another counter, and it's not a bad plan as well. So I think it's not good if you don't have any support outside of its last ability, but with some it might be enough because the last ability is a fail case, and you can start the party some other way. So yeah, I think so. I think this. I have 2 decent 2-drops here as well, but and another Crypt Lurker, but I'll go with Veteran here. Battalion, another card with counters and something I was waiting for with my 1-drops and a lot of 2-drops. So maybe Battalion makes me need maybe 1 or 2 more 1-drops, but 2 are enough, I think. So and this gets counters, so it cooperates with this Veteran as well. So this is nice. So about prioritizing counters. Daybreak Charger is very good, but I think this is Veteran is a good tiebreaker to make me prefer Feat of Resistance. So I have 2 copies of Charger. I can get the second copy of Feat of Resistance now, and maybe I don't have unconditional removal. Faith's Fetters is maybe such a card, but enchantment can be destroyed. I don't have anything that just destroys any creature or exiles any creature or something like this, so Secure the Scene is playable enough, but I don't think I need that much. I have good removal even if it's not unconditional, so I'll go with this. So I think I can have enough of non-creature spells I want to play. So Village Rites, I don't even count Short Sword, I might get it, but Village Rites, 2 Feet of Resistance, that's 3, 4, 6. 7. So 7 it makes me makes me think it's enough if I want wanted to play Village Rights. I have 7 with the first copy, so 8. I don't think so. This deck should be creature oriented. So I think I will do better with another creature. So do I prefer one of these 2 drops? Not the best 2 drops, or a 3 drop I don't really like in most decks. I think Devotee supports it in some way, making it a 3/3, but that's only one card that cares about zombies. I have other zombies as well, so only one other zombie here. But Devotee creates its own zombies, but I don't really like this creature that much, so let's maybe count 3 drops. I would like to play Battalion, 1 Battlements can be good, 3, 4, 5. 5 is quite a lot. I could play 6, but it's not a high priority, so maybe I will support Battalion better with another 2 drop. So what is better here? Maybe another Watchdog. You can pump some mana into this ability, but it's not very exciting, and Vigilance is quite nice to be able to just attack consistently and leave a blocker if I support it with maybe Feat of Resistance or something. And it can get annoying with counter and more counters from Veteran than a huge Vigilance creature is annoying, so I think it's a better option. So this is fantastic. I thought about that Watchdog supports with its Vigilance supports Siege Striker well because it can attack and still tap for its ability, but then I thought it's the 3rd booster and quite a late pick, so I won't talk about Siege Striker because that shouldn't happen. I shouldn't get a Siege Striker, and now I got it anyway. So even though this has some support, 2 copies of Watchdog, 2 copies of Charger, and not a lot of support really. But even if I had more, I think Siege Striker is too good to pass if you're in white already, so that would take a huge bump for me to pass it, and I have great support for Siege Striker as well, so counters from Feat of Resistance, maybe later some more counters from Veteran, and Chargers are a great support. Even Defiant Strike is more appealing. I could play a Short Sword. This is great. So I really had a lot going on for me in this 3rd booster. I wasn't very happy with my deck until this 3rd booster, and now I think it gets very appealing. So I don't think I'll play 2 copies of Village Rights, so I could just take Uncommon for collection purposes, but it's not a huge difference, so I'll just secure the option. Maybe I'll come to the conclusion that I want 2 copies of Village Rights, and maybe I'll play this. I will have to count my life gain, but if I can get 2 creatures from a graveyard for 1 mana, that's a very good rate, and consistently enough. So if not, 4 mana isn't great, but is still playable. And my deck is very cheap, so I can just place some value card for 4 mana for a change. So have something that creates a 2/1. I can pay more for this option, and I'll take it to another 2 drops. So I probably will be cutting some 2 drops now, and here I'll take uncommon, and it's still the closest thing to be playable in my deck, even though I don't think I will play it, and I don't think I need Silent Dart in my deck, so I'll take this. I don't have many 5 drops, so maybe it will make the cut, but like I said, I don't love this idea. So splash, I'm the closest to splashing red. Yeah. Okay, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out all the videos of this draft. There's a playlist in the description. So I will get to my deck building video soon. See you there.